Hey, Zack Jackson here from the K92 Mornin Thang, gloved up and sanitary from the broadcast palace. Today, we're gonna read Where the Wild Things Are. Oh man, this has always been one of the favorites for both of my kids, and what I always love about this one too is it was one of my favorites when I was a kid. So it's just always cool when you can read a book that passes through different generations, and it's just, you know, cool. And you know what, I even thought the movie was one of the best. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. The animals were kind of creepy in that movie, just a little bit. But it's a cool story. So we're gonna do Where the Wild Things Are. Oh, and I was told by Sherry, our receptionist, that I'm supposed to read the books this way because she wants to see them at all times, and she can't handle it if I only show the pictures for just a second. So here we go. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. As you know, I'm messing around with this book here. Look at him chasing the dog. Man, I don't know what that is about kids, but they love just trying to pick up dogs and pull on their tails and everything. It's no wonder that every dog can't stand, especially little boys come over. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. What do you figure they were having for dinner in that house? And because he does not look like he's a responsible eater. This is not a kid that's going to eat his Brussels sprouts or anything. So it's probably box mac and cheese or something or other. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew. You see it growing. He's got his Wild Thing outfit on. And grew. Mischievous little face, little laugh right there. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. You see, he's in the other land now. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. You know, it's very egotistical to have a boat named after yourself. I mean, you can name it after somebody else, but, you know, if I said, "Come on my boat," it's named Zach, weird. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to Where the Wild Things Are. There's his first wild thing right there, rolling in on that boat. You know, if he was there for in and out of weeks and over a year, there ain't no food, no supplies on this boat. I guess you gotta poop over the side too, because that's just freaky, I don't know. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws with sanitary gloves on. So theirs would just rip right through these gloves. They'd be sent home here. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. Let me see, I'll try it. All right, so here we go. And made him king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. This is the part where, you know, then if your kid is here, you start dancing around the room like an idiot, and they tell you to stop, and I would always hit my head and hit my son in the head with the book at this point. I'd say, "Look at them, they're hanging around," and hang on stuff, and he would laugh or cry, sometimes both, when I was done. So as you can see, he's riding them in the parade here. It was always impressive they made this into a 2-hour movie, and there's only about 100 words in this entire story. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Mom's like, "Oh yeah, now you're feeling it. Now you want to come home." Then all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. Sort of, you know what they say, it's like, "Oh, he'll eat it eventually. You just leave it out there. I mean, he'll get hungry enough." But the wild things cried, "Oh no, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." Not a compliment, by the way. And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. It's right in the corner here. Their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat, which of course is named the Max, and waved goodbye. I mean, it's a courtesy to wave, I suppose. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day in that poop over the side mobile again. No wonder he's starving. He went for like a year and didn't eat anything. And into the night of his very own room where he found his supper waiting for him. There's his supper. All right, what is that? I said milk, and then it looks like a piece of cake and a bowl. So, I don't know, gruel, I suppose. Well, it's old-timey, so it's probably like porridge. Man, that's a soup. It's pretty much all it is. But yeah, unless it's a bowl of cold cereal. Oh, and it was still hot, so no, it's oatmeal. So he goes all the way back for oatmeal here, but he was starving, man, and it was still hot. Where the wild things are. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.